Hi there, good evening to you. Thank you for watching this check of the First Alert forecast from the First Alert desk. Appreciate the viewership. We're coming to you just a little bit late this evening. We had some technical difficulties which have now been worked out. So if you are tuning in on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, the Atlanta News First app, atlantanewsfirst.com, the weather app as well. Appreciate the viewership. Thanks for tuning in. We do actually have some weather to talk about it, and again, we are talking about it as we normally do on a variety of platforms, two of which we can chat on. I can answer your weather questions, address any weather comments, concerns that are coming in about the weekend forecast, in particular on Atlanta News First on our YouTube account, also Atlanta News First on Facebook. Like, subscribe, follow, depending on what platform you're on, and you'll be alerted to any other time I am live, or more than just me, of course, the entire First Alert weather team, members of the news team as well, here to bring you breaking news, weather, First Alert forecast, as well as when the weather turns nasty. We do have severe weather to talk about. Again, this is just one more place that you can stay in tune and get the latest First Alert forecast. So again, outside right now, we don't have too much going on, but certainly some weather to talk about in the form of rain. And we're going to switch on over to radar here right now, loading that up, and this is a view of North Georgia into Tennessee and western North Carolina. Notice where rain is more widespread up into White County, the Lumpkin County area, kind of east of Ivy Log, heading into Raven County, Clayton. But I've looked at this north of Atlanta because I want to show you where the majority of rain is at the moment, and that is up in East Tennessee, Kentucky, up into western North Carolina, and extreme northeast Georgia. We'll give you a different view now, kind of a broader perspective. This does include metro Atlanta, and again, notice where the rain is a little bit more noticeable, a little bit more plentiful, and that's up in the mountains of extreme northeast Georgia, up into Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia as well. Really, the mountains, the Appalachians, dealing with more rain at the moment. Before I do dive deeper into the First Alert forecast, want to thank you for tuning in. Again, it's now been a couple of minutes, and we're going to be able to dive into the forecast, but just wanted to give a few more moments for folks to join in. Again, my name is First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin, here to give you a check of the First Alert forecast. And we're talking about a couple of things here. Rain tomorrow morning, First Alert for you. Also, as we get into the second half of Monday, even more so into Tuesday morning, not only rain, but the rain could be heavy. Could be a few thunderstorms embedded in there as well. So heavy rain potential on Tuesday, kind of our secondary item to chat about. Also tomorrow morning, some damp weather back in the First Alert forecast. Speaking of which, we will go hour by hour. Again, we're tracking a few showers up in far north Georgia at the moment. Here is the hour-by-hour forecast, though. Again, overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Notice how the chance of rain increases by mid-morning tomorrow in metro Atlanta. If you live up in the mountains, you're already seeing a little bit of rain, but we are dry here at the moment back into metro Atlanta, and I think we're going to remain dry even if you have late evening plans, 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m. We're not concerned about any negative impacts to those plans. Albeit a little chilly outside, you will want the light jacket, but maybe a sprinkle or two. Most are absolutely dry into the even the early morning hours, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Metro Atlanta looks pretty dry, but by 8, 9, 10, more so 11, noon, 1 p.m., that is when the rain chance really starts to increase from north to south. Let's show you the bigger picture, expand that forecast beyond Atlanta. And we'll roll our forecast model back to about now. It's doing a pretty good job showing where we do have a little bit of rain up into northeast Georgia. In fact, I can circle where it has a couple of showers. And actually by 12 a.m. it says that they're gone, but backing up the clock here, notice where it does have a little bit of rain up into extreme northeast Georgia and east of metro Atlanta, and that's where rain is actually falling in a couple of places. So giving me confidence in the forecast. I think this particular run of this particular forecast model has a decent handle on the forecast. Overnight tonight, temperatures don't cool all that much, upper 40s, lower 50s, kind of that rule. May actually be colder at midnight versus 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, because as those clouds thicken up early tomorrow morning, temperatures may actually climb or warm up a few degrees. Here we are, 8 a.m. I think it's still mostly dry in Atlanta, but there could be a couple of showers, some patchy drizzle around. Look up in Rome, Dalton, Blairsville, though, by that mid-morning time frame. Very quickly, these scattered showers pushing to the south, so that by 10, 11, noon, we do have some rain into metro Atlanta. If you're headed to the big LSU Georgia game tomorrow at Mercedes-Benz, could be some wet pavement I know a lot of folks trying to park by noon. Kickoff is at 4 if you're tailgating adjacent to that property. You could be dealing with a little bit of rain, so just a heads up. May want that umbrella, light jacket, poncho, something like that, but the risk of thunder and lightning very, very low in this particular setup. Nonetheless, some brief light to moderate rain moves through by kickoff time, 5 p.m. We are in the upper 50s and lower 60s, I think, is an average with a lot of clouds. Unfortunately, if you like the sunshine, not much of it tomorrow. A lot of that is not going to be in the forecast until really the middle of next week. We're going to have off and on clouds throughout the entirety of the weekend and on into early next week. And a little bit of a delayed check here, but back on Facebook Atlanta News First, talking to Nina Duck. Good evening to you. How does it look for us here in Forsyth, right above Macon? We know where that place is. Beautiful Forsyth. Actually, I just drove by it on 75 not too long ago. It's actually Wednesday morning. I drove right through Forsyth there, Nina. I waved at you as I went northbound on 75 back into Atlanta. For you tomorrow, your greatest rain chance is going to be late morning, but I think more so early to mid-afternoon. So down in Forsyth, maybe about 11:30 noon until about 4 p.m. That's your greatest rain chance, and it is scattered. It's not the kind of rain where every neighborhood, every yard is soaked. It's going to be a little bit more hit or miss. May not get any rain tomorrow, but I can promise you, even if you do, it's not going to last too long. Nina, again, thank you for still being around. I know you did comment a few moments ago. Apologize for just now seeing that. But yes, tomorrow your rain chance a little later, your peak chance, I should say, than Atlanta proper. So I would say late morning, early afternoon, lunchtime, 3 p.m. Not that it's a guaranteed rain in the setup we have tomorrow. It's not one of those. Now, late Monday into Tuesday, pretty much a guarantee that most folks see rain. But Nina and Forsyth tomorrow, some scattered showers, kind of midday, lunchtime into early afternoon, and then we'll keep the clouds. Temperature is fairly cool, but that rain chance pushes south as we go a little bit later in the day. Again, back to that hour by hour forecast. Notice how after the rain, 5 p.m., this is what we're talking about. We do still have a lot of clouds. Temperatures in the lower 60s. Michael Baxter on Atlanta News First Facebook page. Good evening to you. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the viewership. And if you have any weather questions, Michael, feel free to give me a holler. Let's take you a little bit later into our Saturday evening, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Clouds galore. Temperature is a little cooler, though. And then eventually we may try to clear out Sunday morning as some colder air filters in. This particular forecast model has us in the low to mid 40s, even some upper 30s early Sunday morning. That is a little colder than tomorrow morning's forecast by about 5-10 degrees. But clouds may put a wrench in that. I think that Sunday morning will be chilly, but we're not forecasting any freezing conditions because, simply put, those clouds won't allow for that much cooling overnight. We think about clouds like a blanket, right? They move in and they trap any of that city heat. You can see Mercedes-Benz behind me there. They have that city heat and they trap it. And it just doesn't get as cold overnight. Now, they also block out some of the sun's rays, so it'll keep it cooler during the day, especially this time of year when you have thick cloud cover. Think cooler during the day because of the clouds, but a little warmer during the night because of those same clouds. If the sky was clear tomorrow night, we'd probably all be in the 30s, but I think more 40s than anything else Saturday night going into Sunday morning. Here is that hour-by-hour forecast once again. 7 a.m. Sunday, we still have the clouds. And we're going to have the clouds. In fact, this particular forecast model just paint a few drops of rain. We do have that 20% chance of rain in your Sunday forecast, so we may still have a little bit of moisture on our Sunday. But what I can guarantee is the fact that we will have clouds. Clouds linger into Monday, and then the next wave of rain arrives in the extended forecast Monday into Tuesday. In fact, I can pull up that 7-day forecast here for you. And notice how Saturday, first alert, showers in the forecast, especially the first half of the day. And then we have a bit of a lull Sunday, cool clouds, kind of a gloomy, chilly day with a chance of a couple of showers. And then first alert once again, back half of Monday into the first half of Tuesday, in particular Tuesday morning, for the morning commute possibly. It's looking pretty wet, and that rain may be heavy at times. Could be talking about a couple of inches of rain, and certainly that's going to put a soaker on the morning commute potentially, and something we'll be watching here for the next several days as we get more confidence in that forecast. If there are any updates, of course, we will pass along those updates right here on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Maybe that's where you're streaming, Roku, Amazon Fire, any of those places. We'll pass along those updates right here. In fact, I want to talk about how much rain may fall. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight, and I'm going to change the camera view. And you can kind of see the map a little bit better when I do this. And again, we're watching a pretty complex weather scenario here where we have heavy rain in the region. We're talking Tennessee and the portions of the northern portion of Mississippi and Alabama, some of the same places that saw severe weather just a couple of days ago. The focal point for the heaviest of the rain. Now, this is over the next 5 days, so through 7 a.m. Wednesday. Basically, we have moisture, a stalled front parked across the mid-south into the southeast, and we can think about the atmosphere like a sponge, right? There's only so much moisture that sponge can hold, or atmosphere can hold, and all it takes is a little ripple in the atmosphere, a little storm system like we have approaching from the west to wring out that moisture and bring in some greater rainfall totals as we get into, in particular locally, though this does include Saturday morning's rainfall, but we're looking at this mainly being Monday night into Tuesday morning. Majority of this falling, so 1 to 2 inches as an average, few spots greater than 3. The majority, vast majority of this falling not Saturday, with tomorrow morning scattered showers, but with the widespread rain that's in the forecast second half of Monday on into Tuesday. Now, heads up, you see all the bright colors, you say, whoa, that's going to be a big rain event. And I do think someone is going to get a decent rain late Monday, early Tuesday. But I also think that there's going to be a really sharp cutoff between who gets widespread rain and maybe some heavy rain, and then who just has the clouds and some mist. In general, I think the further south you go from Atlanta, the lesser your rain chance, the lesser of a chance of heavy rain in your neck of the woods. So if you do live in Forsyth, Griffin, LaGrange, over to Eatonton, Putnam County, you may not get nearly as much rain as Dalton, Ellijay, Clayton, perhaps Bartow County, Cartersville, on up into Dalton, Georgia, and some of our northwestern areas, Gilmer County as well, up into Rome, Floyd, Chattooga counties, up into North Alabama. This is where the heavier rain is more likely to fall. And the further south you go, the lesser of a chance, hopefully that's correct grammar there, the lesser of a chance you have of receiving more significant rain in the first alert forecast. So again, that's kind of just the gist for that Monday afternoon, evening into Tuesday chance. So that's kind of the gist of that chance of rain. Have some comments coming in. Going to give folks a holler again. We're chatting on Facebook right now. Let's see. Michael saying good evening. Nina saying that's okay. We're still drying out from last week. That's good. I'm glad you got your fair share last week, and I'm glad you're gonna hopefully be able to dry out. Though again, we do have that chance of showers tomorrow. We also do have that chance of heavy rain, mainly to your north, Nina. But can't rule out some heavier showers down your way late Monday into Tuesday. Dana Pinkert, hello, Cutter from Rome. Thanks for watching up in Floyd County. Mary Ryan waving back at you. And Mary Ryan is watching and chatting about the camera angle there. Glad you like that. You know, occasionally we'll pop out that angle, do something a little different, and give you a closer look at the first alert forecast, especially when we're talking about radar and rainfall, just drawing more attention to specific locations. We can do that a little bit better using that, specific angle, so to speak. Okay, so this is a first alert for Tuesday morning. This is basically what we just talked about, but not rainfall accumulations, just a snapshot of what radar may look like from one particular computer model. And you get the idea, rain forecast to be widespread, 9 a.m. Tuesday morning. Could be a pretty soaking wet, I should say, Tuesday morning commute. Could be kind of a slow, rainy drive. For your Tuesday, that potential is certainly there, 9 a.m. with notice, no coincidence here, the heaviest dark greens and the yellows where the heavy rain could be falling at any particular moment. It's forecast, at least at 9 a.m., to be between Huntsville, Birmingham, Carrollton, Atlanta, and on up into Ellijay, some of the same spots that the other forecast we were just showing you was painting, multiple inches of rain in the first alert forecast. So just something to keep an eye on, something we'll be watching here pretty closely. And the First Alert Weather Center over the next several days as we work to keep you updated and let you know of any changes. Don't anticipate too many big changes in the First Alert forecast, but fine-tuning exactly where the heaviest rain will fall later Monday and early Tuesday, there's certainly some room for some alterations there. Again, here is that 7-day forecast bringing you deeper into the future. Look at the majority of next week. After that Monday, Tuesday rain, we're looking at much warmer, much drier weather back in the first alert forecast. In fact, close to record high temperatures as we get into the middle and latter portion of next week. 71 Wednesday, 73 Thursday. We should be in the upper 50s, lower 60s this time of year, at least Metro Atlanta. But we're going to be, 10, 15 degrees warmer than that. Mornings will be very mild. Look at that, upper 50s, lower 60s out the door in the morning, Wednesday, Thursday, and next Friday mornings. Thank you for watching. Appreciate folks asking their weather questions. If you have any, maybe I missed, I do apologize. I might have missed a few. You can always reach out to me on Facebook, Cutter Martin, CUTTERMARTIN, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, not just me, any member of the First Alert Weather team, Courtney Jacobazzi, Jennifer Valdez, Fred Campagna, Rodney Harris, Ella Dorsey, the entire team there to answer your questions, even away from the TV. And sometimes we think that can help clarify the forecast for you. So that's why we do our digital weather forecast like this, so we can converse the weather, talk about the weather in depth for you. And on a platform, it may be easier for you to get. But you can also even go away from those platforms, and you don't have to just ask them during the live stream. You can holler at us any time of day, and we'll be messaging you back, commenting back. But I do want to remind you, we're back on TV here in just a little bit. Not on Peachtree TV. 9 and 10 o'clock hours have been preempted by high school football. And we are back, though, Atlanta News First at 11 p.m. Half-hour newscast, full look at the weather, and some new data coming in by then. So again, thank you for joining. Appreciate the watch. I hope you have a wonderful evening, a great weekend. We'll leave you with that 7-day forecast. And a reminder, even if you're on the go this weekend, the First Alert forecast is never more than a couple of clicks away. AtlantaNewsFirst.com, also in the Atlanta News First Alert weather app.